Hello everyone and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 100. Today is Monday, August 24th, 2015, and I am glad that you could join me for whatever. My finally rolling into triple digits. And it's also probably better late than never. So it turned out my dad ended up doing a surprise visit this weekend, so as a result I didn't have any time to record on Sunday. And since I'm not sunburnt, I think this was probably a win. Spent a lot of time outside this weekend, but knitting show, you know how it goes. So I am still working on the Fragile Hearts, but I am past the halfway point on the bind off, so this is how much more shawl I have left to bind off. And this is what I have bound off already. So, wrong side. Let's show you guys the right side. So, it is coming along fairly nicely. Obviously, upside down shawl is upside down, but coming along nicely. If I can finish this in time, I'll actually not be able to show the FO on the podcast, because what is it? So I won't be recording next week because I will actually be back home, and the recipient of this shawl is also back home, so hopefully I can power through the bind off on this and go, but it's been a couple of hours into it already. I am not following the instructions. I actually did something more insane than the instructions. The instructions call for you to put a bead on the first and last stitch of the picot bind off, and I'm putting beads in all of the stitches in the picot bind off. So this is how much yarn I have left. It is more than half, thank goodness. It definitely is eating up a decent amount of yarn, so I'll probably have about 4 grams left over. I'm not sure if I'll include it for repairs or something like that. So this is Malabrigo, Madeline Tosh Merino Light, which is a light fingering single, and the color is Cousteau, and the pattern is Fragile Hearts, which is a Boonitz pattern. So close, and yet so far away. So I was debating whether or not I just wanted to push off recording until later in the week when this was done and blocked, but since I'm not even sure I'm going to finish it in time, I figured it was safer to do that. So the other thing that has been getting my love is the Hitchhiker. It is a Martina Bem pattern. I am knitting it out of Woolmisa Pure in the Sammy colorway. And it looks like I'm almost done with the row, so I'll just finish the row on the podcast. So this has, I guess I haven't weighed it to figure out where it is I stand with how much is left. And I haven't counted the points, so we can probably do that in a moment. Oh, there we go. I was thinking there was a knot there. Would have driven me crazy. So this has been primarily what I've been working on, or is my carry around project. It was the case where I didn't really want to fiddle around with beads in a car, or beaded bind off in the car. I don't know, they're just the reason why the Fragile Hearts pattern is taking so long is because it is not nearly as portable. I left things downstairs, but yeah. Like, I knew there was something else I was working on. I was thinking I just worked on 2 things, but really I'd worked on 3. Okay. So, almost there. So, garter stitch, super duper exciting. It's pretty good in the dark. It's pretty good mindless knitting, but not very exciting by yourself knitting, to say the least. But here we go. Pretty much filling up the entire needle at this point, and you can see passing through some interesting pooling. I just made another point, so, and what is it? It's close to being simply wingspan or what is it? It's pretty close to being wingspan all by its lonesome. In terms of number of points, I'm getting pretty close. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34, 37, 38. So I'm to 38 points now. And in terms of yarn, let's check it out. So, turn on the scale. The scale is hanging out right here. All right, 30 grams left to go. So that's like, so I guess I'm pretty sure I knit 60 grams last week, so just half as much to go. So maybe I will be finishing this one pretty soon. Be exciting. And get all of this boring knitting out of the way. So this is coming along nicely. So what is it? So 38 points, 30 grams to go. Or wait, yeah. So I have 4 more before I'm done. I'm probably going to just, what is it, after the last point will be simply the bind off row. And do it like that. I'm not sure if I'll try something stretchy or not. I guess it will just be asymmetric. And that's fine. So, coming along pretty nice. I'll have a couple of ends to weave in. There were a couple of thin spots in this yarn for whatever reason, so I'll have a couple of ends to hide before the end. But so far, so good. Now what I don't have upstairs to show you, and to be quite frank, I'm not sure whether or not it's going to look all that much different until we get to much closer to the end. But I am working on the baby blanket. I finished a square last week, I think in the oyster color, and then I cast on another square in the naked color. I look naked! And I was trying to rearrange a little bit, but I don't think I had enough colors on hand in order to figure out what sort of pattern I want to have for the final blanket, or if I want to do something where I just have vertical stripes or something. I'm not sure. I haven't thought deeply on the matter. Or something where, what is it, I end up doing like a checkerboard thing, or I'm not even sure. So it might turn out that I have, what is it, because I'm planning on making it 5x4. This means I have 5 squares, so I'm at past the 25% mark now, so that's good. Looking, or, well, I guess that doesn't include the joining, but I'm past the 25% mark on the blocks. And we'll see where it goes from there. Maybe it turns out that I end up taking the gray with me on my trip and just use that as mindless knitting. Not sure how it's gonna go. I didn't work on the socks at all this week. Poor socks. They're living in my bag, but they're deep within my bag and don't end up getting a lot of love. Absolutely no spinning. So how would it be? Yeah, I have been binding off while watching podcasts. I've been trying to catch up. It's going okay. But I do have a stash position. So is the case where we ended up putting through an Amazon order, and I decided to get this book, which is the Spinner's Book of Yarn Design. So this is by Sarah Anderson, who is the person I ended up taking 2 spinning classes at SSK. And I got to see all of these yarns in the flesh. I got to touch them. It was cool. And so I'm actually going through and reading the book. I am very much so at the beginning. I think I'm going through the section on drafting right now. And for the short answer, it's just going to be a reference book, and I'm just going to eat it up for the time being. And we'll see how much I can do on my own and how much I can do without. Oh, so crazy. There's so many what is it? There were some things which we ended up learning in, what is it? We ended up learning in the class, so, teaching you how to put beads into your yarn, which looks a little bit annoying. So there is an awful lot to learn here and soak up, and I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to end up making any of the crazy yarns, but if I do want to make crazy yarn, I think this will be fantastic. So looking forward to that. I guess it was the subtitle is Techniques for Creating 80 Yarns, so I'm not sure I have 80 bumps of fiber to make 80 yarns with, but who knows. So far it's been interesting. Nothing that, what is it, I don't already know, but whatever. It'd be the case where it was a reference book. I wanted to have it. I had it on my Amazon wish list, so I probably should take it off, because we've been doing all the Amazon ordering through my husband's account, but such is life. So, trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to share with you guys. Let's see, so I won't be recording next week. I'll have to bring up the calendar. So what it be? So I'm not recording next week, but I can figure out when it is I'm recording next, and I always need to think a little bit harder about it in the transition of months. Come on, calendar, you can do it. Alright, calendar's up. So I won't be recording on the 30th. I will be recording, let's see, I might not be recording the 6th either. Oh man, that's going to be a long time. So we'll see. We'll see where I fit recording in, because it looks like it's probably going to be a little while before I have a free weekend. You know how it is. Like, Labor Day camping trip. How can you go wrong? So, we'll, I don't know. We'll just figure something out. It's not like it's a big deal. I could be recording in the middle of the week. Who knows? It's not like Monday is too bad, aside from the darkness and the lack of coffee. And the short answer is the lack of coffee is purely because it's so late and I'd like to sleep. So, with that, which is vague and all over the place, I hope you guys have a great week, and thanks a lot for joining me. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.